Morning students, welcome to another online class of life science. Here I am going to start another part of nervous system. First I am starting with parts of brain. The human brain is a delicate organ made up of soft nervous tissue. The bony skull and three membranous coverings are called meninges protect the brain. A watery fluid called the cerebrospinal fluid fills the space between the three coverings. Now, the brain is the control center of the body. The human brain is divided into three main parts: cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. Now see the diagram properly. Anatomy of brain. Cerebellum located right side, spinal cord and brainstem located. Brainstem is called medulla oblongata, and the other portion of the brain is called cerebrum, which is divided into frontal lobe, central sulcus, precentral gyrus is also there, frontal lobe, post-central gyrus is also there. So cerebrum is ultimately divided into frontal lobe, temporal lobe, parietal lobe, and occipital lobe. Now I am discussing cerebrum, the principal and most anterior part of the brain in vertebrates, located in the front area of the skull and consisting of two hemispheres, that means two halves, left and right, separated by a fissure. It is responsible for the integration of complex sensory and neural functions and the initiation and coordination of voluntary activity in the body. The cerebrum, front of brain, is composed of the right and left hemisphere, which are joined by the corpus callosum. So right and left hemispheres of cerebrum are joined by corpus callosum. It's a special type of organ. Now functions of the cerebrum include initiation of movement, coordination of movement, temperature, touch, vision, hearing, judgment, reasoning, problem solving, emotions, and learning. All are the works or functions that we have to do. This actually has been regulated by cerebrum. These are the functions of cerebrum. Now, second part of the brain is cerebellum. The cerebellum consists of two hemispheres which are connected by the vermis, a narrow midline area. Vermis is a narrow midline area. By this vermis, left and right portion of cerebellum has been separated. Like other structures in the central nervous system, the cerebellum consists of grey matter and white matter. Now functions of cerebellum. The cerebellum receives information from the sensory systems, the spinal cord, the other parts of the brain, and then regulates motor movements. The cerebellum coordinates voluntary movements such as posture, balance, coordination, and speech, resulting in smooth and balanced muscular activity. If anyone got hurt from the back of the skull, that means at the position of cerebellum, maybe his or her balance has been lost for that, because cerebellum is responsible for balancing activity. Now pons, a specific section of the brain formed by the rounded prominence on the front surface of the brainstem. Now what is brainstem? The brainstem is the lowest part of the brain that merges with the spinal cord. It consists of a structure called medulla oblongata, the midbrain and the pons. Now see the diagram please. Cerebellum is there, pons is there, and cerebrum is also there. One thing, whenever we write down the function, please write it point wise. Now the third part, that is medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata is located in the brainstem, anterior to, that means in front of the cerebellum. This is a cone-shaped neuronal, that is nerve cell, mass in the hindbrain, which controls a number of autonomic or involuntary functions. Cerebrum is responsible for voluntary functions and medulla oblongata is responsible for autonomic or involuntary functions. Now, functions. The medulla oblongata plays a critical role in transmitting signals between the spinal cord and the higher parts of the brain and in controlling autonomic activities such as heartbeat, the respiration. One thing I'm going to clear you first, I don't know whether you knew it or not. Involuntary activities means what? Involuntary activities means the activities which generally we used to acquire from our birth, like respiration. We has to respire. Okay. Heartbeat. Our heart is beating normally. Okay. We are not making it beat, but it is beating normally. Like this. It's like drinking, eating. These are all our involuntary activities. But voluntary activities means the activities which generally we used to acquire after birth. Like I am saying you, like actually, suppose you are starting studying. Every day you used to study at 10 a.m. Every day you are doing, so this is your voluntary activities, because this activity you haven't got from your birth. Hope so you are understanding. One more thing, in my every slide of life science, I have tried my best to give a colorful diagram with naming or leveling. So please try to draw these diagrams in your copy as well as in your exam with the proper answers. So possibility of your marks will be increased. Now I am discussing spinal cord. The spinal cord consists of nerves that carry incoming and outgoing messages between the brain and the rest of the body. Like the brain, the spinal cord is covered by 3 layers of tissue, that is meninges. Same covering we have got in case of brain also. The spinal cord and meninges are contained in the spinal canal, which runs through the center of the spine. Now functions. Primarily in the transmission of nerve signals from the motor cortex to the body and from the afferent fibers of the sensory neurons to the sensory cortex. Cortex means outer portion. Always remember this. It is also a center for coordinating many reflexes and contains reflex arcs that can independently control reflexes. Artery, spinal artery, which arises from spinal cord. Vein, spinal vein, which also arises from spinal cord. And spinal cord is a part of central nervous system, or CNS in short. Now see the diagram. Previously also I have discussed this. Spinal cord is there along with brain, where cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral and coccygeal 5 portions are also there. It has been divided. And in the next diagram, a small vertebrae or small vertebra of spinal cord has been given. Suppose in cervical, you are seeing na C1, C4, C5, C6 like this. So like suppose one C1 vertebrae I have drawn over here. I have given the diagram over here. Okay, so please try to get this diagram, and whenever you will read this slide along with your book, please tally it with the specific diagram. Here I am discussing reflex action. What is reflex action? Suppose you are going to touch a cup of water, cup of hot water. Will you touch this? No. Because if by chance you will touch, unconsciously you will take back your hand. This process is called reflex action, and the way or the pathway of this process is called reflex arc. See the diagram, you will understand. From central nervous system, spinal cord involves over here, sensor neuron is there, because whenever we are touching a glass by sensory neuron, that particular response is going to our spinal cord. Through this to brain. So after that, brain is commanding or telling through motor neuron and relay neuron and motor neuron that not to touch the glass or take away your hand back. So instruction is coming from the brain, from your brain automatically. And this total process is very first process. Generally, duration of this process is a maximum 5 seconds. Okay. Now, a reflex arc is a neural pathway that controls a reflex. In vertebrates, most sensory neurons do not pass directly into the brain, but synapse in the spinal cord. This allows for faster reflex actions to occur by activating spinal motor neurons without the delay of routine signals through the brain. This only in my own language, just now I have illustrated you. Now see, component of reflex arc. First one is receptor. Receptor, see the example in the diagram, receptor is in your hand palm. Okay, receptors are there, already I have discussed. They receives information and generates impulses. Impulses means like waves. Now second one, sensory neuron or afferent neuron carries information from the receptor to the interneurons in the spinal cord. Third one, interneuron, that is association neuron, processes the information and generates responses. Number 4, motor neuron or efferent neuron carries the information from the spinal cord to the effector organ. And last, effector organ receives the information from the efferent neuron and shows the appropriate responses. That means the instruction is coming from your brain that not to touch that particular hot glass. Please relate this thing with your book so that you will understand better. Homework. What are the components of reflex action? Describe the structure of largest part of the brain. What is the function of spinal cord? Name the 3 membranous covering of brain. Which fluid filled the space between the 3 coverings? Please write down this and try to draw the diagram also in your copy. I'm not getting your sufficient homework. Send your homework through my email ID. Thank you, class 7. For any doubts or queries, please email me at sudeshna1.sma@outlook.com. Even you need to mail your regular life science assignments in this given email ID.